Hey, what's up, Dre? Appreciate your work. Thank you for all that you do. I thought it's only fair and appropriate that I make a contribution to the thought chamber. I like that. Appreciate the offerings that you've been sharing with us, and the jewels that you've been getting, because they're on point, and every time they're on point. And I can't deny the power that's associated with what you do. So much so that, as you already know, I've been drawn to out of the box to make some contributions. So here are my contributions to the thought chamber. Three things I'd like to contribute, especially your conversation with Laser. Kind of wanted to piggyback on that conversation about extraterrestrial versus terrestrial reality. And the bottom line is, we are all foreign to this reality. We are planted here. Let's be clear. We are all outsiders. We are all part of the matrix. You investigate the word matrix, you look at the ancient root of that word. The word matrix comes from the word, it refers to the womb. And you say, well, gee, matrix, womb, that doesn't make any sense. But if you think about it, what is it that a womb does? What is the primary function and purpose of a womb? What happens in a womb? Well, life is developed. There's creation, there's development taking place in the womb. And that's what this environment, this space is, this terrestrial existence is. We come here for development. We come here to develop ourselves in all levels of cosmic terrestrial energy. Point blank. Can't think of it any other way, but ultimately that's what this is all about. Manipulating, managing, and mastering energy. That's why we're here. And as it is, some of us are better at it and more equipped to do it than others. There are others who realize that others are capable of mastering and manipulating and harnessing energy better than others. And then there are those who realize that other groups, individuals, mindsets are incapable of harnessing and mastering energy. So I'll let you figure out who they are. But those who do understand the concepts of ethereal energy and the mastery of thought, and that thought in and of itself is a consciousness that exists, that is existent in everything. We are here to experience developing energy. And energy comes in all kinds of forms, in all types of ranges. And so the sooner we can understand and appreciate that we control, master, and can manipulate the realm of energy, which is what we are consisted of, intelligence, comprised in a physiological meat sack or what have you. And I like the idea of or the reference of an avatar, because that's basically it. We have infused a material dimension, 3 to 5 dimension material realm, with consciousness at varying levels, and under these conditions, we're here to master and manipulate energy. In other words, master and manipulate ourselves. Which brings me on to my next point. because we're here, we're and people are waking up, or people are coming to the realization of who they truly are and what they're truly capable of and why they are. What's happening is there are other forces that are natural to the matrix, because this is a development environment. I believe and have experienced on numerous occasions and in different lifetimes, that there are safeguards to manage the development process, not only just for individuals, but for also globally. And this is all just part of the process. I don't think this will all disappear or disintegrate. It's an ongoing system of development. And within that development, there's always going to be conflict and opposing forces, because that is the nature of energy. Energy consists of opposing energies and forces and elements. And the fact that they oppose one another creates the instance of power, creates the instance of life and outcomes. So all that to say is you're definitely on point. We're not of this world. Even if you look at some of the religious texts and leaders, even Jesus, conceptually, the conceptual Christ, he talked about how he was not of this world. Well, if you look at that metaphysically, and there's some esoteric understandings about what is taught in terms of the Christ or the Christ energy, but to get to the point, he always referenced being not of this world, not just in terms of not being a part of the political scene or the sociological scene or the community, but his origin was not of this space that we share. And he also told us that basically we aren't of this world, and that we were the light. And so that was infused basically into this environment to develop. When you light a match in darkness, that allows for opportunities for things to occur. Darkness also serves a purpose. It's an origin point in some instances. And typically you don't have light unless you have darkness. And it's just like the Infinity 8. It goes back and forth. That's just the way it works. It's always been that way. That's the way it is. The more you understand it, the more you can manage it, master it, and use it. It all boils down to how you use your energy and how you express it, or how you're used by energy, or how it expresses itself against you, because we don't do what we're supposed to do, which is observe and learn. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble here, but get back on point here. Want to contribute these 3 points. There's been an increased rapid succession of massive distractions. We have a president that is prone to be a distraction. We have all the stuff happening in Washington with our weather patterns. All of this stuff contributes to major, massive global distraction. Distraction from what? Distraction from you eating all of this knowledge. Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit that's being pushed out on this this global web thing, but there's enough of it to wake some fools up, and they start collectively thinking along the same lines. You're gonna have stuff happening, especially depending on where these individuals are physically located in terms of the ley lines on this planet. So you get folks waking up, exploring their inner core, which is their energy source, and expanding on that, and turning up their energy levels, they can affect the long-term control that has been in this dimension or in this realm of development for quite some time. You know, at one point, you know, the world was under what historically they call the Dark Ages. Well, that's kind of what's about to phase out now, the dark age of ignorance and stupidity through the Piscean age. And with this new age, this incredible age of Aquarius, information is just going to find its way to you. We're bombarded by it. We're surrounded by it. We wear it. We sleep with it. We swim with it. Some people are embedding this shit inside their skin, inside their physical bodies. We wear it as a helmet. We're wearing it in our eyewear. It's everywhere. Information is everywhere. And with that information is also the opportunity to have someone on the other end of that information that can control it or influence you through it. So let that be a lesson to you. Be careful how much time you spend on the web. Which moves me to my next point. Energy harvesting. With all of the distractions, what are we being distracted from? From finding out how to master and learn and release the energy that exists in our core, which is the mind. The mind is all. The mind is universe. And once we do that, that could be some problems for some folks who kind of like it here. The way things have been, you know, where the weak and the ignorant are abused and taken advantage of through capitalism and a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's another story. The point I want to get at is that this energy harvesting that happens when there's massive calamities, destruction, and disaster, that is a lot of energy. And that energy is being leveraged, harnessed, and used by someone and someones. And my only encouragement to folks is, you know, stop looking and being in awe and in terror of it and get into it. Get into your bag. Jump into the mix, which is within yourself. And you'll find that you too can leverage that energy. You too can claim hold to that which is rightfully yours, naturally yours. So I encourage folks not to be distracted, but to go deeper, deeper within yourself, because that's where it's at. That's what's happening. That's what's up. The time is now with this knowledge. If you're just reading about all this stuff, if you're just learning, but you're not applying, you're not exercising or executing any of this knowledge to increase your personal energy core, this is not the time to be ignorant. In an information age, if you do not harness and master and manage information, which is energy, you might as well lay down and die, because this is the information age. It's about information. Information is on a frequency. It's pure energy. And that energy changes. It gives you that extra oomph to change or to alter something. Your environment, others, that's what information does. So the exchange of information in and of itself is a type of energy. Again, if you have the right tools, you have the right metabolic capacity, you can get some shit done. As I heard said in one of these TV shows, American Gods. Great line. You can get shit done. When there's a lot of emotional tension, energy, trauma, that can get things done in the environment. Think about that. Think about all these storms. Somebody's getting some work done. Someone's getting something accomplished when all of that is going on. So think about that. In addition to energy harvesting, move on to my final thing, and then we'll jump off the thought chamber. I like that concept of sharing. Artificial global consciousness. What is artificial global consciousness? It's really just an artificial means of global consciousness. Once upon a time, we existed in this environment, this development space, and we were all globally engaged consciously. You may call that telepathic. It sounds space age or crazy, but that's what consciousness is. It permeates everything. We were connected to not only nature, but to each other. There was no such thing as the illusion of privacy, because we're all one. We're all interconnected and intertwined, just experiencing this dimension through different lenses called individuality. Individuality is just a different lens or prism to view and experience and develop in this dimension. So your uniqueness is tied to your ability to self-develop, become self-aware. At any rate, don't get caught up in the internet. It is because it's artificial, and like anything that's artificial and not natural, it can be controlled, and it has some side effects that can jam you up. So be careful. Everything's being monitored, everything's being tracked, everyone's being watched. The tools are there to monitor and track all this stuff. I know for a fact. I work in aerospace, for a living, and the technologies that are out there to manipulate the physical environment, to store data, to retrieve data, the amounts of data that can be captured, manipulated, parsed, separated, changed, altered, and the speed at which all of that can be done is kind of impressive, but is not the same as your ability to tap in to the cosmic ether, which is our source. But with all that said, I just want to share that, there's been an increased rapid succession of massive distractions. Those distractions are coming because too many folks, there are some folks who are concerned about too many people coming online with knowledge, self-knowledge, and taking them to another level, and that'll mess up a whole bunch of people's agendas in this dimension. But it's all part of the process of development. It's all part of the game. Also, energy harvesting. When these disasters and calamities occur, some of them are directed, deliberate, and intentional, but the purpose is to draw upon the energy that is created or that comes to bear when there's great trauma, excitement, there's just great energy, and there are those who are feeding and using and leveraging that energy. You may see something circulate on the internet that gets you all riled up. That was done deliberately, because that energy that you release when you're upset or frustrated, someone's using your leveraging and using your energy. Trust me, believe that. And lastly, the artificial global consciousness. The internet is not real, but they are making it as inclusive, inviting, intoxicatingly attractive, because what you give your attention to, you energize it. So there are people manipulating masses, hundreds of thousands, millions of people per minute by what's trending, by what's not trending. It's all part of a massive social engineering thing that's been going on for years. This Facebook, these social media tools are the very things that capture all your business. Where you go, what you eat, when you sleep, when you wake up, all of it's all interconnected. same way like it used to be when we were naturally connected to one another. We could tap in and know what was going on, and without being intrusive. It's the same thing with the current internet. So just be careful, be aware, be awake, but most importantly, with all of your knowledge that you're gaining in this age of Aquarius, information harvesting and exchange and manipulation, get what you can and use it to grow, develop yourself. Forget about this. You can do your collective thing, but you got to do your individual game first. You got to get your individual power and game up. Get your individual weight up. Then you can do all this other stuff with connecting with others who have done the same thing. But trying to link up with folks to grow, that's not the way to do it. That's how religion tries to do it. It tries to get everybody together, and everybody tries to do it together, to become a powerful one. That's not the way to do it. You have to be the powerful one, and you connect with other powerful ones, people who have mastered their energy and know how to use it. That's when it becomes interesting. And I think that's what we're about to step into in the upcoming months and years. We're about to see some folks come online fully realized, and that's going to be interesting. With that being said, thanks for allowing me to share, and peace out. Take care.